Hey up, it's your old friend McGoganLives, and it's time for an adventure. It's going to be mountain themed yet again, but not the ones in front of us right now, no. We're going to new territory, uncharted territory today. And I literally mean uncharted. I've never been there before, and I've always wanted to go. We're going to go to the mountains in the far north over there. You see, just beyond the ocean. I have no idea what's lurking. I'm really quite excited. But first, we're going to do one of the most exciting things I've ever done in a Kerbal Space Program series. Oh yes, you're in for a real treat today, audience. Let's get started on this grand escapade. Right, so I shan't take up the whole episode showing you how we're going to modernise all the airplanes. I'm just going to show you what we're going to do to them very quickly. Now you see this engine here, I don't know what it's called, a D25. Turns out this thing is absurdly inefficient. I mean, I knew it was inefficient, but I didn't realise how much. I mean, the good thing about it is it's compatible with the tweak scale mod, and I can make it bigger or smaller, depending on my needs. But look at that, it's got 1 hour and 5 minutes worth of burn time. Now I've found in this part catalogue here, if we just take the D25 away, there is another engine called the Hornet. I think it's from a different mod, but watch what happens when we put this on. Oh, I see, it's just down here. We need to set this up. So we pull this down. Look at that. It's gone from 1 hour and 5 minutes to 4 hours and 33 minutes. And it's actually slightly faster than this D25. It's mad. I think it's safe to say the D25 is an obsolete part. It seems that the future of aircraft is not going to be bigger engines, making a D25 bigger. It's going to be just more engines. Look at the 4 hours and 33 minutes. I've never heard anything like it. So that's what I'm going to do with all my aircraft now. I'm going to just retire this D25 if I can. And also, I'm going to put some of these steerable wheels on my older planes. That should be, well, it's not going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to spare you it. You're not going to have to watch that. But, yeah, it'll be satisfying at least, knowing I won't have to cart these things out onto the runway and hope to God they stay straight. I will just show you the Kerbling Sky Car though, because it's probably one of the most venerable of our airplanes. We've always used the Kerbling Sky Car. It's quite a celebrity amongst the Kerbal pilots. Let's see. So it has an hour's worth of burn time with those old engines. Let's see how long it can go for with just this much. Okay. Alright, there we go. Look at that. 4 hours. What on earth was I using those things for? You see what I mean? It's mad. We've quadrupled the time that this thing can fly for. Let's get rid of these little wheels here as well. With all aircraft, old and new, renovated for flying on an industrial scale, the recently founded Kerbal Cartographic Society set the world's pilots and the companies that employed them a prodigious challenge. Thanks to generations of blissful ignorance, Kerbin is still almost entirely unexplored. But after the scientific advances of the past few years, rocketry, aviation, photography, and actually having an enthusiasm for anything besides bakery goods, this society feels the time has come to send Kerbals deep into the unknown of darkest Kerbin, in the name of their rapidly advancing society. There's no monetary reward being offered for these proposed adventures, which typically would be enough to put off the likes of the Big Three and many other smaller companies. But the promise of eternal glory in the skies of Kerbin has immediately captured the prideful imagination of the pilots, who subsequently convinced their sponsoring companies that a plane which ventured into unexplored territory and returned would sell faster than the company could manufacture them. Now this enormous objective will be comprised of expeditions devised by the eggheads at the Society, and can be executed by any pilot egotistical enough to risk their lives for fame, and any company willing to sponsor them. And so, with the groundwork laid, all that remains is to start our brand new engines. Right, business then. So I've selected my crew for this special mission. It's going to be Ada Kerman piloting, of course, because it is a Winfred plane, and we're taking one of his friends along, Ross McKerman the scientist. I think it's sort of a collaborative project, primarily because, where Winfred have been shown up by Kerbling when they had to rescue Ada, and the same things happen now. Kerbling have been embarrassed by Winfred because they had to go and rescue their pilots. So there's sort of a collaborative effort. Probably, you know, in an attempt for one company to get some information on the other or something like that. I'm sure when it comes to just pilots on their own, they're good friends. Okay, well, let's see how this new improved Flapjack fares with this new engine. Well, bit of a slow takeoff, that's fine. Whoop, bouncing along. Oh, the heck, it's taken off already. Rendered the runway obsolete. Flippin' heck. Oh my god, we're at 100 metres a second. Get your helmets on. I mean, the first design with the big old engine at the front only did 88 metres a second, and I was boasting about it then. 120 metres a second, flipping heck. With 4 hours of fuel. Well, I think this is certainly the pedigree of all the airplanes I've made so far. And all of this is possible because we removed that big engine at the front that wasn't very good. Oh, can you imagine not having a helmet on and travelling at like 100 metres a second? I mean, that's like, what is it, 223 miles an hour, 100 metres a second? Rip your face off! You just come back a skull! Right, let's get a move on. Let's hope that no parts fail. It could happen. Very easily. Still no parachutes, I notice. Oh, well. One day I'll learn my lesson and give them parachutes. And it's so stable as well. Wow, you see what I mean? How Kerbals have really sort of... They're very technologically handy. They're sort of inventing things on such an accelerated pace. It's only taken them a few years to go from, you know, Ada Kerman's first little flight across the ocean to that island over there, to shooting through the sky. 167 metres, I don't even know what that is in miles per hour. That's the only way anything can, you know, feel fast to me if I convert it to miles per hour. It must be an English thing. Look at that, we're in the clouds! Oh my god, I haven't even been noticing how high we are! 5,000 metres. We're high up, we're going incredibly fast. Well, this is amazing. Now let's just get through this cloud here. And I bet pilots have never encountered anything like this before. Imagine the scary feeling these two must be having now. Flying through this enormous cloud of water vapour. There's you see the mountain in front? Well, of course you do. Not directly in front of us, just over in the distance there. I've always seen that mountain when I've been taking off in other saves using rockets. I've always seen that mountain in the distance, and I've always wondered what's going on there. We're going to go and find out very quickly. Look at that. Just smooth as silk, this type of flying. Drifting through the clouds. Truly it does encapsulate the romance of flying. Look at them. It's what they were born to do. This is great! But we're at like 3 times acceleration as well. Usually planes become really unstable at these high accelerations, but it's fine. Look at that. Well, if we can fly this high, then maybe those mountains won't be a problem anymore. You know, the ones just to the, is it the south of Kerbal Space Centre? I don't know. Alright, here we are. Now, I just need to remind you, audience, I've never been here before. This is the point, though. This is the point of Kerbal Takes Flight, the series. I want to travel to these locations that I've never been to. I want to have a look round, see what's there, explore Kerbin in its fullest form. Just look at this mountain, and we're going to fly over it. I think that's more impressive. Look at that. I'll tell you what, because we've got so much fuel, we can like maybe make a few detours as well if there's anything interesting on the horizon to look at. This is truly uncharted territory. Just look at this. Amazing. Now, I'm sure we must be thinking it, but no, I'm not going to try and land because I'll end up ruining it. I'll pancake this thing into the side of the mountain, knowing me. I think the engine's still... We're getting dangerously high. I don't want the engine to stall, but it seems alright. There we go. Hey, there is some things on top of the mountain. I think it's just scattering. Whoa. Keep your nose up. Oh man, how amazing is this? This right here is why I made this series. Nothing. Not temperature scan. Do anything over the mountains? Yes! Marvellous. Oh, I'm going to take a picture here. Oh, it's so majestic. Just look at the rolling hills in the distance over there as well. Oh, almost reminds me of my where I live, you know. Not the mountains, the hills though. Oh man. Oh come on, let's dive down. This is incredibly stupid. Go and explore it in greater detail. God, 100 metres a second I thought was quite fast. We're about to hit 200 metres a second. 200 metres, so 446, something like that. 47 maybe. Pretty much 450 miles an hour. That's mad. Look at that. Racing through the small canyons here. I could probably land if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. There's no reason. We've got enough EVA reports from the surface of mountains recently. Oh wow, I've not even tried first person mode yet. There we are. This is what it's like being Ada Kerm. Oh man. Not sure if I can get high enough to pass over the mountain a second time. Look at this thing here as well, this giant crag here, I'm not even sure what it is. Oh, let's go down again. I suppose it's not very wise using mountain canyons as roller coasters, but it's just wonderful. There's just so much to explore with airplanes and, you know, on Kerbin. There's just so much to see and do just on Kerbin. You don't need to make spaceships. I will, of course. We'll be travelling to other planets. But for the moment, I'm perfectly content just to explore majestic landmarks like this great mountain range. And as just to reiterate, I've never been here before ever. Great. Well, we haven't even made a dent on our fuel supply. So I'm guessing the old propeller engine is going to be a really fuel efficient means of getting around, no matter how much technology progresses. I'll have to bear that in mind. Oh, look at that. It's like a pass through the mountains, you see that? I'm going to fly through it. I am aware that I've turned the cursor off. It's for your benefit really, not mine. I don't want to be filling the screen up with apparatus. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fly through this small mountain pass here, then we're going to head back to Kerbal Space Center. Not because of fuel, it's because of this Dang It mod. I live in fear of Dang It now. I don't want the plane to break, or the engines to stall, or the wings to fall off, or whatever Dang It does. I'm not too familiar with it just yet. Look at this. How cool is that? Oh, and it handles so well as we just manoeuvre through the mountains here. Oh, I am happy as out. I can't even describe how euphoric I feel at the moment. Oh, just love this game. Speeding away. Magnificent. I'm really glad I've gone to see what that mountain is now. So there we are. Now if you play Kerbal Space Program, or you're watching this series and we see this mountain again, we can be like, oh well, we've been there, we know what's there. Cool little ravine to drive a powerful airplane through. And we're back in the sort of, I suppose you call it the Highlands now, wouldn't you? Have we got any data from the Highlands? Probably. Yes. What about temperature scan from the Highlands? We got that? There we go. Yeah, we got it. Well, we did get a bit of science. I'm pleased with that. Right, pleased. Ah, so these mountains up ahead must be the start of the great big mountain range in front of the Kerbal Space Centre, I understand. And if we had one of these when Ada or the McKerman brothers were stranded in their various locations, we would have rescued them in no time. It'd be a very short episode. So where is Kerbal Space Centre then? Oh, we'll see it soon enough, as long as we can see the ocean. So we'll just hug the beach there, the shoreline, and that should take us straight back home. Look at this. Just love it. I suppose these are like rolling fields of farmland, tilled by the diligent Kerbals there. This is certainly their domain. Just look at that. Even now, this tremendous mountain just looming in the distance. That should be a nice short episode. Nothing wrong with there being a short episode. I'd rather Kerbal Takes Flight be a series of short episodes. I don't want to be taking up all your time. I'm sure you've got other things on YouTube to watch, or maybe you've got other stuff to do. And I know I have a sort of habit of rambling. Right, so let's get this airplane back home. God, I seriously didn't think it'd go as well as it did, to be honest. Really thought something would go wrong. Apparently not, though. Not that I'm complaining. Yeah, right, well, we need to get rid of some of this speed now. I bet everything's going to blow up now as soon as we try and land. We are coming in incredibly fast. Way, let's not be doing that. All right. God, we're still going so fast. Is it worth coming down? I've never actually flown an airplane this quick before in this save. Oh, whatever. We've got plenty of flat land to go on. That's it. Keep it down. Turn off that engine. Oh. Okay. So we're just flying along the grass now. Okay. Alright, we're at a respectable speed now. Let's look at that. I think we need a bigger runway. Alright, good work, lads. Fine work, actually. Right, well, you lads are now officially the fastest Kerbals ever. How do you feel about that? That ought to make Richter quite angry. In the life of a pilot, there's only one thing better than the infinite freedom of the skies. That's going down to your local and having all the people buy you pints so you can tell them all about your adventures. Come on, you bear.